He mixed the last of the milk with water until the bottle was full. That was the family's entire meal that day. Then Dad looked at his young daughter and said,
I dreamed I had a steak. Thick, juicy steak. Like this, Rose.
Wow.
I'm stuffed. I'm absolutely full. I cannot eat another thing. Wanna give me a hand?
He saved all the food for her and left the house hungry. In the times of the Great Depression, even getting enough to eat felt like a luxury. The docks were packed with people looking for work, but the boss only needed 9 men. Old Brock wasn't hired. He walked away disappointed. Who would have guessed that a former world champion boxer could fall this far? When Brock returned home, he found his son sitting sadly in a corner. On the table was a single sausage. Brock picked up his son and went to the shop, returning the sausage to the owner. On the way back, his son told him his friend had been sent away because his parents couldn't afford to keep him. Brock promised his son he would take care of them.
And I promise you, we will never send you away.
Fortunately, his manager arranged a boxing match for him. Whether he won or lost, he'd get $50. Before the fight, the manager discovered Brock had hidden a broken hand. He tried to persuade him not to fight.
I owe everybody money, Joe. I owe everybody money. Can't get any shifts. Ain't got any cash.
But Brock got in the ring anyway. His fractured hand made him vulnerable. He took blow after blow. The crowd grew restless. Determined to change the outcome, Brock threw a right hook right at his opponent's head, shattering his wrist again. He won the match, but he didn't get paid. The Boxing Association revoked his license. No job meant no gas, no electricity, and rent was overdue. His wife said maybe they had to send the kids away to relatives. Brock refused. He had promised his son he'd never do that. He grabbed some shoe polish and had his wife paint the cast black, so no one could tell his hand was injured. He tried looking for work anyway. A few days later, the electricity worker cut off their power. They had 4 months of unpaid bills. Without lights, they used candles. No heat, they dismantled the fence for firewood. Even so, the children fell ill. As a mother, she couldn't bear to see her kids suffer. In despair, she sent them to relatives. When Brock came home, they fought. He stormed out. She thought he was leaving her. In fact, he was giving up his pride. He went to the welfare office and received $19 in relief aid. Still not nearly enough to pay the bills. Eventually, he went to the Boxing Association and begged for help.
You know me well enough to know if I had anywhere else to go, I wouldn't be here. If you could help me through this time, I sure would be grateful.
Some sympathized and helped him. Others refused. Finally, he talked to his manager. He broke down crying.
How should I here? About $1.50.
His manager scraped together enough money to bring Brock's children home. They made it through the winter. One day, the manager told Brock he set up a warm-up match against the world's #2 boxer. If Brock would fight, win or lose, he'd get $250, enough to save his family. On fight day, Brock was starving. He hadn't eaten all day. His manager found him some beef and rice. He hunched over the table and tore into it. Before he could finish, staff led him to the ring. He stepped back into the spotlight, and the crowd roared. But everyone knew his opponent, the world's second-ranked boxer, big and strong. No one expected Brock to last long. When the bell rang, his opponent unleashed a barrage. His reach overwhelmed Brock. Then a heavy punch dropped Brock to the canvas. If he stayed down, he'd collect the $250. But something inside him clicked. He laughed. Maybe it was laughter at fate, at the pain he'd endured. A few punches felt nothing compared to his life's suffering. A nickname Bulldog fit him perfectly. He surged up, took command of the match, and landed a knockout blow. The crowd and his manager couldn't believe it. With his opponent down and out, old Brock beat the world's #2 fighter. He had made a miracle with his injured right hand. He became famous overnight. When he returned home, he lowered his head and pretended to be disappointed. His family had planned to encourage him.
I won.
That night, they finally ate a real meal together. Not long after, the manager arranged another fight, advancing a large sum to Brock. But his wife wasn't happy. She feared he'd get injured again. So she went to the manager and pleaded, please don't push him into another fight. When the manager opened the door, she froze. He had sold everything he owned, just to give Brock a chance to get back in the ring. This manager then convinced the club owner to give Brock more fights. Brock began rigorous training, more intense than ever. His punches became faster and fiercer. His biggest game, the ability to take hits. defense, because he could no longer let his family go hungry. He fought like a bulldog in the ring, gripping his opponents, never letting go. But when he faced tall, strong competitors, he struggled. One powerful punch shattered his ribs. He clung to his opponent, and the referee pulled them apart. During a halfway break, his manager told him not to sit. Letting his adversary see him standing might intimidate the opponent.
Why is he sitting down?
It worked. When the next round started, his opponent landed a punch that knocked off Brock's mouthguard. But that moment brought memories flooding back. His children freezing, his wife rationing gruel, the diluted milk. He looked at his opponent, and he smiled. Maybe it was defiance. Compared to all he had endured, this pain was nothing. But his opponent was terrified. He had never seen someone fight without fear. He backed off like a child, and Brock seized the opportunity. He launched his final onslaught. He won the match. The next day, Brock returned to the welfare office. Everyone stared. He wasn't there for money. He was returning it. He had earned enough to repay every cent of the aid. If you want to know what's next, follow me.